Will Saturday night be the night when Toronto FC win the first Supporter Shield in club history? I'm Gareth Wheeler, looking ahead to Saturday's match between Toronto FC and the New York Red Bulls, 7 p.m. at BMO Field. And yes, the math is simple. If Toronto FC beats New York on Saturday night, the Supporter Shield is all theirs for most points in Major League Soccer. If they do not, that means Atlanta United and New York City FC could stay alive in the Supporters Shield race. However, if Atlanta loses at New England and New York City FC, if they lose at Chicago, well, then Toronto FC would win the Supporters Shield no matter the result come Saturday night. So much in Toronto FC's favor. They want to take care of business in front of you, their fans, in their own house come Saturday night. But the captain, Michael Bradley, the leader as he normally is, keeping things into perspective that Saturday night could be special, but there are plenty of big games ahead.
We want to step on the field tomorrow in our stadium, in front of our fans, and be ready to win a big game, win the Supporter Shield, and really move into this last part of the season in a strong way, and make sure that we're ready to go for all the big games that are coming.
Toronto FC's 15-match home unbeaten streak came to an end last week against the Montreal Impact. The good news for Toronto FC, they haven't lost 2 consecutive games at home since September of 2014. With 3 games to go, there's a little bit of urgency just to focus on form, making sure that this team is finely tuned heading into the 2017 MLS Audi playoffs. But at the same time, these 3 games are important tests, including this weekend against the New York Red Bulls. 3 very different teams, 3 very competitive teams, giving Greg Vanney a lot to think about and a schedule that he really likes coming down the home stretch.
It is, in the grand scheme of things, another game because it's still the regular season, but it's also a time of year where things tend to get notched up a little bit. Obviously, there is something on the line in terms of trophies, but it's also important that we start, from a performance standpoint, start moving our tempo and everything that we need towards what the playoffs feel like. And so, that's been a lot of what we worked on and talked about this week is building again some of that momentum, building up some of that speed of play, some of the things that are going to be important as we get down the stretch, and being sharper at everything that we do.
Here are your 3 keys to the match. You heard Greg Vanney said it. The New York Red Bulls press high, and dealing with that press is going to be so important for Toronto FC in Saturday's matchup. The New York Red Bulls, they're much more active than many teams when they come into BMO Field. Typically, teams come in, park the bus to a certain degree, play very defensively. That really isn't in the New York Red Bulls' DNA. They press high. No team plays more football, and their opponents attacking third than New York. They lead the league in tackles per game, so they're an all-action outfit. And a very difficult team to play now. They play in that 3-4-3 formation. Now, wins, results haven't been coming their way. They haven't won since August 12th, but they've drawn 5 games in the process and are a little bit frustrated they haven't been able to come away with a victory. Yet they still sit in a playoff spot, 4 points up on the 7th place Montreal Impact. So it's a big game for the Red Bulls, and it's how Toronto FC deal with that high press, breaking it down, then playing on the counterattack that will be so important heading in and during the 90 minutes on Saturday. The second key to the match, get Jozy Altidore involved. He's missed the last 3 games. He scored 13 goals on the season, and he'll be a welcome addition to this Toronto FC team. The Red Bulls have played a lot of games, weekend and midweek fixtures over their past couple weeks. They played Wednesday night against DC United, where Toronto FC was at home simply watching, resting, waiting for the Red Bulls to come into town. So New York may be a little bit leggy. Altidore is a difficult player to mark, defend, to deal with on a good day, let alone for a team playing with heavy legs. Getting Altidore involved is more of a target man with Ricketts playing off him. That's going to be crucial for Toronto FC. They can be a handful for the Red Bulls, so Altidore will be a welcome addition back in to the Toronto FC team. And finally, dealing with Bradley Wright Phillips, one of the most underrated, the most underappreciated strikers in all of Major League Soccer. All the guy does is score goals. He scored 16 on the year, leading the Red Bulls in that category, and scored in the 1-1 draw at Red Bull Arena earlier this year against Toronto FC, the acrobatic overhead kick. He's one of those players that we can say is a Toronto FC killer. There's a couple of them in this league, but Bradley Wright Phillips has scored 9 goals in 10 starts against Toronto FC. He doesn't do much in the build-up play, but he's very good in and around the area. Containing BWP is going to be key for Toronto FC this Saturday. Are you ready for it, Toronto? It could be a very special night under the lights at BMO Field. Toronto FC, of course, clinched their first playoff berth against the Red Bulls at BMO. Well, they can win their first Supporters' Shield against that very same Red Bulls team this Saturday night. Get your party hat on. We're ready for it. We hope you're ready as well. Be there to support the team. The city's been great over the course of the stretch. It's been a special season. Let's bring it home in style on Saturday night. If you can't make it down to BMO Field, you can watch on TSN. And as always, use the hashtag TFC Live.